What is going on? So today we are reviewing the Natasha Denona foundation. I can't really think it's a review because I've actually had this for a while, maybe like 2 weeks. And disclaimer, I actually worked with them on TikTok with this, but I wouldn't be making this video if I didn't think it was a good foundation. I love Natasha Denona, and it's weird that like she was known for palettes, but now she's known for complexion because her concealer went viral on social media. And she literally launched this foundation, and I think it was made in Italy. No, it was made in Korea. No, made in Italy, but with Korean technology, and it's just so freaking good. I've got the shade P10 just for reference, but if it's in a store near you, I would recommend going into store because I think if you don't know your shade or if you haven't used a concealer before, because the concealer shades in these are the same, but if you haven't, go into. I've already prepped my skin with moisturizer and a bit of the matte Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. I would say this is full coverage. We wouldn't say it's natural it's got a natural finish and it feels weightless, but it is full coverage. That's the color there. I actually want to get a darker shade because I feel like this might be, it's the right on the top, but I like a foundation that's slightly warmer because I go in with a bright concealer. One thing I'll say about this, like one pump goes a long way. Like look how blurred that is, and it's just going on like butter. She's actually made this foundation for all skin types, so no matter if you're oily, dry, combination, this has I can't remember what the technology is, but it has got technology in it that controls oil and sebum. So if you are oily and you like a foundation that isn't matte and isn't greasy, I think you'll love this. I really like it. It looks super blurred, and I don't know how she did it. Sometimes when I think of like how people make foundations, I'm like, how did she do this though? Because I think when brands bring out foundations and they claim it to be weightless and works for all skin types, it never really works for all skin types. It's either really matte, which it kind of dries and clings to dry patches on people that are dry, or it's too greasy and it makes you just look so shiny after a few hours. So there isn't a good medium, but I can truly say that this foundation actually does work for a few, like all skin types, because my friend used it as well. She's got dry skin and she said that it actually didn't cling to any dry spots. So I feel like it actually does self-set after 15 minutes, but it is nice. I feel like because we're going into winter, we're seeing this trend where everyone's now bringing out matte foundations. Obviously, Charlotte Tilbury just put out her one. Let me know if you want a video on this. You know, I reviewed this on my YouTube channel years ago, and it was actually so red. The shades just were not nice, but it was a beautiful foundation. I will say, Charlotte, well, with this foundation anyway, it was so nice, but it just felt so heavy. It felt very mask-like. It was like one pump, and you can see how much it covered like my skin. I've got a tiny bit more on my hand, so I'm gonna put that in my brush. I'm actually using this Makeup by Mario F3 brush. I love this brush so much. I feel like I have so many of them because you can use them for obviously foundation, concealer, bronzer, cream bronzer. When I first got this brush, I was like, I'm not sure about a double-sided brush, but I actually feel like they're just more of a vibe in terms of like traveling and stuff, but so cute. Have you guys been anyway? Obviously, I feel like when this video goes up, it'll be a Friday. What am I doing this weekend? I'm going to a friend's 30th, chilling, and then I actually go away in a week or more. I'm actually going somewhere in Europe, but I'm going to be vlogging it for you. So these days, you know, I'm like, I'll wait till it happens to do, because you know sometimes when you put things like in the universe, evil eye. And I'm not saying y'all are evil eye, but you know that. I'll just say when I get there, but it'll be super exciting because I've never been away with this brand before, so I feel like it'll be a very nice little getaway, you know. But yeah, look how beautiful this foundation is. As you can see, it is radiant, but I've actually got the Augustinus Beta Rich Cream, so that could be a line, like a factor in it of how it looks. But it does self-set after 15 minutes. I'm not gonna put anything on my face or try and set it. I'm gonna show you what it looks like after 15 minutes of me not touching it. So I'm just gonna wait here. I put the fan on actually. So this is it after 15 minutes. You can still see here, like it's drying down, but it's still waiting to dry down here. It's crazy. It's almost like a concealer. It's like once you put them on, because so much people like, they're saying her concealer creases, but you actually have to apply it, wait for it to set, tap the creases out, and then put powder over it. So it's just a very, not finicky formula, but it does some kind of work in both. But I love this foundation so much. I think it looks so nice. I feel like I'm gonna apply some of her concealer with it so I can show you guys. I'm trying to think. I actually need to get more colors in her concealer because the ones I have are either too bright. Let me try this one. I've got P11. What shade is the foundation? I think this might be a bit too dark for me. What shade is the foundation? They've got P10, so this will be darker than the foundation, so I can't use it under I've got P9. So this is the same color as the foundation, which I'm just using to almost use as a color corrector because sometimes it's not everyday orange. But yeah, I just think it's crazy how she was known for eyeshadow palettes. But do you guys still wear eyeshadow? I just feel like I was talking with this one today, and the girls just aren't wearing eyeshadow anymore. I think if they are, they're doing like a quick little eye look. I feel like everything happens in a circle, and eyeshadow will definitely come back. I just feel like after, you know, the panini, the lockdown, I just feel like people weren't really doing those kind of crazy looks that they used to, or like long eyeshadow looks, unless like you obviously work in makeup. Then a lot of people just were not doing it. So I want to highlight a bit. I'm gonna use, this is YP11, so I think that means yellow pink, which is quite pink actually. Yeah, this is quite pink. I've got the other shade in P10, which is pink. This is very pink actually. Darker, so I'm actually gonna put some of this Makeup Forever one on. I just feel like contour is my favorite bit of makeup. I feel like it really just makes or breaks not makes or breaks a look, but like, you know what? I was on TikTok the other day, and this makeup artist who I know and follow, she was basically saying that you know sometimes with deeper skin tones, when you do like, you know, a dot of concealer, and this is what I kind of noticed as well when I used to work in my early MAC days, when I used to try and do a no makeup look, it really just gave not a lot, because with deeper skin tones, you gotta think of it as a painting. Like, we need a lot more depth, we need a lot more contrast for it to really show up. So if you just do like a tiny bit, it literally just looks like nothing. So I think that's why when we really highlight and contour deeper skin tones, it looks really good, because our face kind of eats up makeup. So when you do like obviously the contour and foundation, sometimes you apply a lot and it doesn't look heavy on us, because you know, with our foundation we don't have to blend it down to our neck. So you know, in MAC days, everyone used to be at NW45. We could finesse that color because you can really just kind of maneuver. You could pull it on and put a bright concealer on, and it kind of just looks like your skin tone, depending how light or dark you are. But when you're a lighter skin tone, you really have to get the shade match so right, because you just end up looking mad. You actually end up looking so mad. Look at the skin. Like, this foundation is like, come on now. It just looks so nice. Obviously, still gotta blend everything, but everything just lays on top of it. It's probably like, is it the best complexion launch of the year? There hasn't been a lot of complexion launches, but I'd probably say Natasha's is definitely up there. I definitely still want to try the Makeup by Mario Surreal Natural Foundation, but this for me, it could be one of the best complexion launches. So one product, I know this is a Natasha Denona review. House Labs has actually, I thought I mentioned this in my last video, but this in Glassy Clove, I love to just apply this, like apply some on the back of my hand like that, and it's just such, it's almost like a Chanel version. You know that Chanel Balm Essential? It's like that, but like a bronzy version, which I'm not sure why Chanel didn't do. But I'm just gonna put some on top of this just to make the skin very much. This is the finished look. Look how stunning this foundation looks. Obviously, I've put on a lot of emollients / dewy products to give my skin this kind of like glass look, but it does actually dry down. You can actually maneuver it to be more matte and more just how it is, like it's all about the skin prep. But this foundation gets a 10 out of me. I'm definitely gonna keep wearing it. I definitely want to get a darker shade, as I said, because I like the depth of like when my foundation is like one shade darker. This is like, I'll probably say this is like my perfect match in a bottle. So again, I'm in the shade P10. I think it is out already. I think it came out maybe a few weeks ago, but you know, the girls are going crazy, but this is the look. Let me guys know if you've tried it, if you've tried a concealer, let me know. Have a lovely weekend, guys.